If you like Double Indemnity, then you'll like Woman in the Window from 1944. Edward G. Robinson is a college professor who's home alone after his wife and son go on vacation. While walking home after meeting up with some friends, he meets the model of a painting he admires, played wonderfully by Joan Bennett. He goes to her place for a drink, but then her boyfriend comes home. Thinking the worst, he attacks Robinson, but Robinson accidentally kills him in self-defense. From there, Bennett and Robinson dump the body, but it's later found by the police. Now, the two wonder if they covered up their tracks correctly. This film has a triple threat of talent behind it: Robinson, Bennett, and director Fritz Lang. This is actually the first of two films the trio made together. The next year they would make Scarlet Street, which is the more famous of the two movies, but I always preferred Woman in the Window more. Why? Well, primarily for the story. The film breaks lots of conventions of the time. Usually Bennett would be the one to kill her boyfriend and have Robinson scheme with her to get rid of the body, and she'd seduce him in the process to make sure he wouldn't squeal. I love stories like that, but after a while they do start to blend together. Here, it's just two people caught in a bad situation. I think that makes it more interesting and allows you to sympathize with the characters in an easier fashion. Another reason is the suspense. Fritz Lang does a masterful job keeping you on the edge of your seat for even the most conventional scenes. Part of that is definitely due to the careful choices in the editing. Some scenes are done with lots of quick cuts to create a sense of disorientation, but with others, Lang lets the camera linger, and it slowly draws us into what's happening. Of course, the lighting is gorgeous too. Lang was one of the directors who helped pioneer the German Expressionist movement, so it's no surprise that this film is filled with great shots of darkness subtly filling the frame. Speaking of darkness, something I didn't notice until I watched this film again is that Joan Bennett is wearing black in almost every scene she's in. There is a notable exception, but that's spoiler territory. If that's not great symbolism, I don't know what is. The performances are all top-notch too. This is one of the first noirs I ever saw, so I went into this knowing Edward G. Robinson and came out loving Joan Bennett, Raymond Massey, and Dan Duryea. They all give such strong performances, and it's understandable why Lang wanted to reunite with all of them. Well, Massey was missing from Scarlet Street, but man, I wish he was there. I will say though, I do have mixed opinions on the ending. I won't spoil it, but it relies on a certain cliche that I know makes everyone's eyes roll. But in the film's defense, this was one of the first movies to actually implement this cliche, so at the time it still kind of felt fresh and new. When I was younger, I liked the ending because I liked the characters, but now that I'm older, I do feel like they should have gone another way with the ending. For years, this film was out of print on DVD and was really hard to track down. I ended up finding a copy at a flea market that didn't even have the original case, so of course once I bought it, Kino announced 2 months later that they were doing a Blu-ray release. I knew I should have waited, but oh well. So if you like Double Indemnity, then you'll like Woman in the Window for its murder plot, suspense, and impeccable performances.